Hey y'all, I want to tell you about two stories. One is about what happened with Paul and I the other day, about 4 days ago. And the first one I'll tell you about Julia. She is a moderator of our Facebook group. Minivan leads this Nomad Life Facebook group. So go join it, go find it. I can leave the link in comments. Okay, for Julia, she lives in Washington State. After work, she went to go work out. She went to LA Fitness. Well, there were some young people just hanging around watching. She didn't think too much about it. I think it kind of sparked an interest, but she just went on in. Obviously, one of them, they're working as a gang, one of them followed her in. Well, one big mistake was she locked her keys in a locker. Well, after she went to go work out, they probably called and said, bring the thing in to cut the lock. Well, her keys were in there. I'm not sure what else was in there, but her keys were in there. When she got done working out, she found that her lock was cut off and she found her vehicle missing. It was devastating for her, very devastating. Now, she's told me about the crime that is happening now in Washington State. But she's not in Seattle. Seattle's falling apart. From what I hear, it's falling apart. So this is really devastating. So I want to talk about this. More than one of you have mentioned on my last video that, times are changing. Troubling times are here, and here's what you can do to get ready. And there are a few of you that actually posted, well, what are we supposed to get ready for? Well, because there are so many people out of work, rents going sky high and pushing all kinds of people, all ages, out of their quarters, their living quarters. They can't afford rent anymore, and they certainly can't afford the American dream of buying a home. Well, what does this mean? It means a lot of desperate people out there. Now, when I say get ready, if you're living in a house, why would you need to get ready if you're living in a house? Well, if things collapse and the social order falls, there is going to be pandemonium, chaos. And we already know, come on, there's an increase in crime right now. And my friend in Australia said that, and he's in a really nice area, crime is edging up big time, big time. And I'll tell you, if the shit hits the fan and the dollar falls, which might not be, it might be a few years from now, but it probably will fall. All indications are that yes. The petrodollar, however you want to call it, the reserve currency, the US dollar, it's on its decline. Yeah, we've been printing so much money, and I won't even go into why, but the reasons are there why. Okay, if that falls, I'm telling you right now, everybody, if you think you're safe living in a home, you're not. Crime is going to increase, and some people say, well, I have a garden and I'm going to be safe and I have my own garden. Guess what? Unless you have a militia to guard that garden and you're growing food or your fruit trees or whatever, and all of your supplies that you have put away, stockpiled. The thing with survival and in a shit hit the fan situation, there are marauders. They gather and they're like magnets, and they magnet towards each other, and then they move on like locusts, and they just rape, kill, and steal. That's what they do. I know this sounds scary, but guess what? Some of us, we're Christians, and we believe, well, before it gets that bad, that Jesus is going to take us up, right? Well, we don't know the timeline. Even he said we don't know the timeline. So I'm asking you all to prepare. Just get some things together, because if you need to, I'm asking you to get things in a bin together. So if you need to get out of the city or your town because things went bad, that you have stuff to go with, right? If you don't need to use it and nothing happens, wow, who cares, right? But you're prepared. But if you do, you're going to be so grateful to have things. Well, back to Julia. Okay. And one side note, I'm doing this video. I want to get it up. It's Sunday morning, and I want to just get it up. I don't want to edit it. This is going to be an unedited video, okay? I just want to get this up. And it does take a long time to edit things. So, yeah, I'm near the Arizona baseball diamond, yeah. The Tucson Toros, I think that's still their name, the Tucson Toros. Okay. So, back to Julia and her car being stolen. I've done a lot of thinking about this. No, she hasn't got it back yet. I guess they left the license plate and they just dropped that and left it there. So they got rid of the license plate and they probably tacked another one on there, right? I mean, itch my eye. It itches, okay. So here's the deal. A lot of us nomads, we go to Planet Fitness, right? Okay, so do not, this word of wise, do not lock your keys in a locker. And you know, when I first joined Planet Fitness, I used to do that all the time. And I was really nervous. I would lock up my purse and my fanny pack and my keys and everything. But it did worry me that somebody could break open the lock. And I remember when I went to Las Vegas, there were big signs up. Don't leave valuables in the locker because they could cut off your lock. Okay. Well, that's what they did with her. So what I do now is I have like that one little sash that I attach to my pants and I keep my keys in there. I don't bring anything in to Planet Fitness until I get ready for the shower. Then I go back out after I'm done working out. I go out and bring in what I need. Now, the Planet Fitness that I'm at right now has its own little section for a shower. You walk in, you've got a little space over here, and then you can shut the door. Although I don't know why showers don't have locks anymore. I mean, come on, these are hard times. Why don't they put a lock? They let you lock the bathroom door, but they don't have locks on the shower doors, right? That's weird. If they really needed to get in, they can crawl under, right? But I don't want people, while I'm taking a shower, people going through my stuff. I don't hear them, and I've got shampoo on my face, maybe my eyes. Yeah, okay. Little rant there. Sorry about that. But I just don't understand that. And then I take my things in, right? And I can kind of, the way this is situated in Tucson, I can kind of do what I need to do and still kind of look over. Okay. But I do know that in other areas I've seen where there's no place to put, there's just you go in the shower. What, do you have to park your stuff like right there beside, on the outside of the shower curtain? Or if you do put it in a locker, well, there you go. There's one that I've seen where there's a space where you can, but there's no lock on the door. You can put your stuff in there and then walk across this little area and then go in the shower. But your stuff's just sitting there. Well, if they're going to have working in gangs, if they're going to be working together as, criminals working together. So do you see what I'm saying? This is happening. We're seeing more people working together as thieves and criminals and who knows what else to get what they need. Desperate times call for desperate measures on our part and the criminals' part, okay? So don't leave your keys to your vehicle. If you're a nomad, everything's in your vehicle. Well, Paul and I have decided we're going to change everything. Our behavior is going to totally switch up. We're going to switch everything up. If one goes into the store, the other one's going to watch the vehicles. Yeah. When we go into a restaurant, we're going to park really close. We're going to look for the best possible place to park, that there will be people around that people can see. Yeah. Okay, second incident, and I'm so sorry, Julia. And she's making it okay. She said she's learning like she's very enlightened, and she's looking at this as a learning process. And so many people are rallying around her. And she has expressed that that's the one thing that she's so happy about, is that she knows who her real friends are. And I am so happy. I am your friend, Julia. Yes. If you need anything, you let me know. Let me move this up just a little bit. There we go. I'm not going to edit it out. Oh, no. And my nose is running horribly. Sorry, I got to blow up my nose. There we go. Okay. Incident number 2. 4 days ago, Paul and I were parked at a library on the outskirts of town. It has solar panels, so we like it. But it got a little late. We thought, well, why would we go to our regular parking spot at night? It's going to be out in the sun. The sun is setting later and later. So we stayed. But the library had closed up. And we were sort of off a little bit. Well, I was sitting in Paul's Ram, his van. And my minivan was parked a little bit over. He was trying to pick up just a little bit more shade. Well, these 2 guys came walking up. One kind of big and another one not so big, but they were both laughing, yucking it up, right? They walked, his car was here. They walked around here, and then they came around. They just like right up to Paul's side on the window. And they said, hey, man, I think they were a little tipsy. Hey, man, you got $1? Got $1? And we both said, oh, we don't carry cash, Because Paul was thinking, yeah, they want me to get out my wallet so they can see what's in there, right? Or they just reach in and grab it and run, right? Well, then the other one said, well, hey. Oh, and then he was the big guy. He was standing there. And he goes, hey. He goes, well, you don't got any money. It was a pretty nice Ram you got there. How are you affording that? Yeah, you see where this is going? Yeah. Well, he says, well, yeah, that's where my money goes. And then he looked at me. He didn't see me. He goes, oh, you got a beautiful woman in your car. What'd you do? Spend it all on her? Well, Paul wanted to get out and, like maybe I'm a hooker or something, I don't know what he was going for. But then the littler guy says, hey, we'll just be honest, 50 cents. We want to go buy a beer. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm like, I don't have to give you money, especially for beer. Go get a job. Neither of you look disabled. And that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so thank God, finally they walked away. They weren't going to get anything. When we left, the implications of all this really didn't hit either of us. It rolled into our minds as the night progressed. We were thinking, and I was like, F this. I ain't giving them money, not for beer. If they need money, go work the same way Paul worked. He's retired. He worked for his van. Go get a van. Why are you walking around? You don't have a car. They didn't look homeless. They were just going, oh, okay, well, we'll pray. But he came right up. Okay, so, and then we start thinking, he could have had a gun. And he could have just popped Paul right in the head. There was nobody else around. Popped him right in the head. He falls. They hop in. I try to get away. They shoot me or they rape me. And then they drive away with everything that Paul owns. They didn't know anything about that minivan sitting down their mind that belonged to me. They probably thought we both were in here, right? So here's the dealio, everybody. We decided, you do what you want to do, but here's what we've decided. And I think it's a good idea. That window should have been rolled up right away and the car started, right? If they were walking around our car. So there's no more trusting anybody. Nobody. We're not trusting anybody. Because the times, they are a-changing. I sense it. You all sense it. You tell me. So those of you who say, well, what are we trying to prepare for? This is going down, people. Desperate times call for desperate measures on everybody's part. Number 2, we should pull away. Just pull away, start the car, and pull away. The only problem is my van was back there. He's like thinking, oh gosh, yeah, we can't just leave her van because they could just, but another thing too, well, I already do. I have bear spray right beside my driver's side. He's had, Paul has some really good pepper spray, but it just sitting, he goes, I forget it's even here. I forget that the bear spray's even there. And of course you don't want the wind blowing in, yeah, but just holding it up might be enough to get them out. But they could have a firearm. Our goal is nobody gets near our vehicles ever again. If we're driving, they're not going to get near it. Paul's going to go for a walk. Let's see if we can catch him doing that. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to edit it. You got stuck with that. Okay, you're getting stuck with that. I was trying to get him, and I keep forgetting I wasn't going to edit this video at all. I'm just going to get this up for you today, for this morning, because it's 8:30 right now. So you're going to get this I'm in Arizona time, so you'll get this probably in a half hour. I'm going to get this up. So there you go. You got to decide what is best for you, but you better come up with a good plan, because if you're in a car, there's no more just sitting on your phone and not paying attention. Everybody needs to be situationally aware, especially nomads. And as a house dweller, you need to know if your car is parked outside, what's going on with your car, right? If it's in a garage. My daughter had, somebody was obviously driving through the neighborhood, and they had like a remote, that could open garage doors. And there's only so many codes. If you go down and you constantly going like that, one of them's going to open up. Well, one of them, and my daughter and son-in-law, theirs did in Cincinnati. Yeah, they called the police and they said, yeah, we're getting reports that there's a few of them in the area that were opening up. Okay? Okay. And that goes for cars too. Sometimes a car, you can do the key fob, and it will open. Somebody tried to do that with mine one time, and I'm sure it was by mistake. They just had it aimed at theirs, and it actually unlocked mine. Yeah, I'm serious. So those things happen too. I am going to say it again. Find yourself a travel buddy. Now, even if you're not like totally perfectly compatible, they need you and you need them, okay? Now, one person said, I am so confused, Lee. You told me that you traveled alone for years. Now you're telling everybody to find a travel partner. It's not safe. Well, that's not exactly what I said. I said if you're going to be out in the boonies by yourself and you're a female, you might want to rethink that. But even a guy, and a lot of us nomads, we're older, and a lot of young people do enjoy preying on retired people, right? Senior citizens. So maybe even for a guy, I don't know. But this is a heads up. These are things that are happening. And these two incidents happened within, just a couple days. Now, nothing happened with those two guys that came up to his window, but it was a good lesson, that these are things going down. Now, I do have a previous video where we talk about two other instances, both one in California and one that happened in Austin, Texas, where one person got into Cindy's van, our good friend Cindy, and just got into her van. She was in the back of the van. She thought she locked it and she didn't. So these are little mistakes and mishaps that we all can make, like locking your keys to your car in a locker when it could have just been in your pocket or something like that. But, and then the other one was, somebody saw a shooting go down right in front of them in a drive-through. They didn't try to shoot the employee of McDonald's. They shot the lady that was behind her. I don't know what happened, but I'm telling you, desperate times can lead to desperate situations. So this is my video. I want to get this out. There's no fancy schmancy. I'm so glad that you enjoyed my little intro and exit from the previous. If you haven't seen it, go to the previous video right before this one and watch it. And somebody said, I want to see this every day. Well, no, I won't do this every time. I like to switch things up. Yeah, I love variety and I love to edit. So I'll make some more for y'all. I just like to do it. It's what I love to do. But today I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to edit. So bye, everybody. Please subscribe. It really helps me. So love you. Tomorrow will be part 2 of essentials, getting ready for these dangerous times and being able to just put stuff in your car, in your vehicle, so you can get away. And anything can go down. Oh, come on. I think, didn't Hurricane Katrina teach us that? Come on, people. You know, don't say, well, what are we preparing for? You're preparing for all kinds of things that can go wrong. Save yourself and save your family. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. Bye.